Warning. The following contains material that may be too disturbing to some people. Descriptions of violence, mature situations, and adult themes. This is intended for mature audiences. Viewer discretion is advised. All right. So we're live. Definitely the first time we've gone live.
Yep.
If you thought there was another time we went live just a few minutes ago, you're wrong. You're wrong.
Whole life has been a lie.
So welcome to Broken episode 3. And the number is fixed. It is correct today. And we got a new overlay background, and we got a new camera. Naela's got a cam today for her virtual avatar, so that's awesome. And we're all here. We're all ready. So a couple things. We're doing a giveaway a week from today. We're going to be giving away a copy of the game. So if you want to make sure you're able to enter and win, be here next week for the live show. Same time. We should start at 8 and go to 11. We're a little late today. We had some technical difficulties. But you'll be able to enter during that whole session throughout the gameplay. And then at the end, we're going to draw a winner and give away a copy of the game. We will do the same thing for episode 5 and episode 6 also. You'll be able to enter, as long as you don't win on episode, you can't win 2, but you can enter as many of the giveaways as you want. Try to win. And I encourage players, mods of the channel, everyone to enter. You'll all have an equal chance to win. So let me make sure I tweet the stream out. Boom. I already had it ready to go. So we're good. Just tweet it out. Yeah. Do you guys want to talk about what happened last week? Okay. So the giveaway is sponsored by Araukana Media and Federico Sons, who's the creator of the game. So now, you guys want to talk about what happened last week on the show? What did you guys do last week? Some of you started off the session dead, right?
Yes.
That's correct.
Yeah. And then we got to see
changes over here.
Yeah, we got to see what happened when the eclipse happened in Vegas. And then you guys sort of all woke up, right? Isn't that the gist of what happened?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much, yeah.
It was very pleasant
and then the angry
environment.
water lobsters attacked.
Yep. You guys
I forgot about them.
You guys had to deal with some mermaids that were wanting to eat you and inject you with.
They were not the hot kind.
The feeling is neutral.
It's fine because I saved you with my pointy spear and my boat and my drugs.
Yeah,
I was about to say, and your drugs.
She injected you all with drugs.
Remember, kids, drugs save the day.
Mama Susan, CEO of YouTube, that is a joke. That is what we call a joke. I know sometimes you can't tell what a joke is, but I'm telling you, that is a joke.
YouTube, that was a joke.
The day they went after Game Theory, you knew they couldn't take jokes.
Everything we say is a joke.
Yeah, I should just have one of those rolling things of text across the screen. It's like, this is all satire. Yeah, disclaimer. Everything we say is bullshit.
Derrin needs one of those.
We are not a kid-friendly show for a reason.
Yeah. So you guys fought off the mermaids. You were born into Nibiru. You were injected with some drugs to help you survive the harsh environment here. And Naela kind of pulled you all to shore. Now, most of you are tripping really heavily on drugs by this point. But we'll get to that.
Bastards.
I'm okay.
Vision quest.
I can smell the color blue.
Yeah.
I think I was the only one that was okay, so I just get to sit with Naela and watch all the voice trip.
Oh no, I was okay too, actually.
Yeah, my guitar performance helped a lot.
I mean, if you're okay, it means you're not going to be debilitated. But I'm going to have you roll again today at the start of the session to see how serious the effects get. Because now that it's been a couple minutes, it's gonna hallucinations might start kicking in and stuff. And
They're really kicking in.
Vietnam flashbacks.
Yeah.
Is it just a normal rule?
It will be here in just a minute. But first, we need to have our fade in on the session today. So as we start the session, we go through our usual intro, and the camera fades in from black on dark water washing up on shore. And we see some reeds growing in the water, and as the camera sort of pans out, we see a rust-colored beach with metal wreckage all along its shoreline, and we get a shot of you all stepping off the boat, and we get a little voiceover here. Welcome to the Umbra. The first lesson to vagabonds that they are not welcome in this world. No one truly is. A harsh reality. Here, Nibiru greets us with maddening cold and darkness. It rejects our presence immediately, so violently that it seeks to see your bones crushed under the weight of the world itself. It wishes... lost my place. It wishes to squeeze the life from you, to see the air banished from your lungs on a careless, fleeting whim. We are nothing to Nibiru. A virus, a parasite, perhaps. And yet, for how dreadful it sounds, some lost souls find no other place to call home. All the trials and tribulations, the victors, the vanquished, no one up above will know the stories of those who are born and die in darkness. Only the fruits of their labors, the harvest of their souls. There's this saying among our penumbraic kin that blood drips upwards. Whomever said this never felt Kabadu's true weight. And yes, we may die in an instant, any instant, compared to them. Those who have all of eternity ahead of them. But you know what brings our riddled minds solace? We'll know something they never will. And you can too. Just search amidst the much too reviled dark. Your arms open, your mind blank, and listen. Do you hear it? Silence. It was only a few hundred cycles ago that the first Anisu brought civilization past the 2G line. They came fleeing Arku persecution to a dark chasm, an abyss, really, where the cruel overlords of the world above could never reach directly. Those of us who managed to survive against all the odds found the corpses of dead vaults, hidden from the world and its faults, and settled there, hell-bent on building a haven for lost souls. Unbeknownst to us then, our societies would slowly be shaped by the strange nature of the Umbra, birthing a community unlike anything else in Nibiru. Today, 2 communities have been established in the Umbra. One, a success story, born of ingenuity and need, Nataku and its flooded countries. The other, a cautionary tale, ravaged by greed and disdain, the Archaean sorrows. This is where we find our vagabonds. The amnesiac kin often wash upon the shores of this dead world, making it the starting place of many a vagabond's origin story, and often their final resting place as well. The world plotting to kill us is not made easier by the Charchamish and its Arku. The people of the Sorrows, no matter how exiled, are still bound by contract to provide part of their harvest to the Arku. Many have sought to sever themselves from the Antumbran city-state. The problem is that they still depend on their supplies for survival. Batteries, DDM machines, spare parts to keep their survival gear humming. Even if they wanted to trade with Nataku, they're cut off by the Arku's outposts. And with a blackout looming, their supplies will soon dwindle until they have nothing to exchange for the goods they need to keep them alive, to keep them going. The region is, quite literally, in a deadlock. All right. So, what are you guys doing? As we see, like, stepping off the boat, we do get a cool little camera angle here, like a silhouette against the backdrop of the light sort of going out for this lapse. The small sliver of light is really giving you the ability to see along the water's edge, and at its surface it starts to dim as the lapse is coming to an end, and it will return soon, but perhaps a bit dimmer. Now, those of you who are stepping off the boat and have been injected with drugs, make a normal roll. If you have something that might apply to resisting the effects of drugs, you can.
All right.
That's everybody but Naela, by the way. Is it not working?
Yeah, I don't think it's working.
Yeah,
it's
I
not
pressed the
working.
button and it didn't work.
All right. Give me 1 second. I can fix it. I just need 1 minute. I know what the issue is. It does this from time to time. And then let's check this. Okay, and there it goes. All right. So it should be working. So Dank is able to roll. Success. Major failure.
Oh no.
Eee.
That's
What?
everybody.
We have a fumble and a major failure.
Yeah. Okay. So, those of you who rolled successes, as you're stepping off the boat, and the drugs are Dank. I got your first one. The drugs are starting to kick in. The thing you've been
I
injected
can't
with.
make it any better.
I was spending an influence point to reroll.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm gonna do that too.
I'll take the fail as opposed to a fumble. That's fine. Anybody else want to do? Cassidy, you want to do that too? You said. You turned it into a fumble.
Yeah.
It's better than a
Yeah,
major
dude.
failure. So
Yeah. Oh, true.
yeah, those of you who rolled successes, so Zack, Derrin, you're feeling the effects. Everyone, you're feeling the effects of the gravity and stuff for sure. The air is kind of rancid; it almost kind of burns your lungs. Just moving is a chore. It's very difficult. Naela and Ernest, who is also here, they're smaller. They're wider. They're sort of built for this environment, so it doesn't affect them as much. Those of you with successes, you're still you're getting light trails, right? So maybe you look back at this silhouette of light coming from above you or off to the side, out in the distance, like the sky is what it looks like. As it's almost mirrors the eclipse we saw in Las Vegas as this last sliver of light kind of goes out. As opposed to being an eclipse, it's like an opening. if you got a success, you're still like getting like light trails and stuff, but you're able to keep yourself there mentally. You're not operating at a penalty for anything yet. But you're still like getting some hallucinations and stuff. It's just you're able to like keep yourself intact. Let's start with our failure. Dank, you're gonna have a -1 for mental checks.
Fair enough.
And maybe you're just like a little giggly, like you can't really help it. I'll let you decide as far as like what symptoms you have. You're definitely hallucinating. Maybe you start to step off the boat and you see the people around you start to melt, and that kind of thing. Yeah. Let's see. We've got a fumble. Okay. So Cassidy,
Oh no.
you don't get a -2 because you didn't get a major failure. So you're also at a -1 for mental. And I'm going to give you a -1 for physical checks too, because you're hallucinating so bad. Maybe it's like you're seeing double. Sometimes you can't really, like if you go to grab something, it's like your perception is off, like your depth perception. It's hard to grab stuff. It's hard to like move. You're still like counteracting the effects of the gravity and everything. So everyone is. It's just that you're tripping really, really hard. And as you guys sort of like pull the boat ashore, I think Ernest went to tie it off. Naela, what are you doing? The rest of you guys, what are you doing?
Naela, while Ernest is tying up the boat, which I'm sure is like several feet away from where they are, she's just going to simply turn around and say, I am Naela. He is Ernest. You will hear him call me Olivia. She kind of says in a smaller voice. And she says, don't correct him on it. His memories are slowly but surely leaving him.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Sounds
man,
reasonable.
pretty sure. What's in a name anyway? No worries.
Yeah, we see like all of them are naked. Maybe some of them are like shivering. It's cold, but also the drugs are really starting to kick in. Dank still has a guitar, and I think one of you got the spear or an oar or something. Was that Zack?
I have the oar.
So like Ernest is like off like 15, 20 yards away. He's like securing the boat to the bottom of this like it looks kind of like, I think I described it last time as like something an astronaut would live in on the moon, like a small shelter that's got it's up on stilts, like a few feet high. It's mostly made out of this beaten grayed metal. It's got fungus growing on the outside of it. It's rusty in places, and it's very small. Like we're talking 20, 30 square feet, smaller than like a school classroom, maybe the size of like a bedroom, like a decently sized bedroom. And it's got like a metal hatch door on the front of it.
And it costs you about $1,400 a month in downtown Los Angeles.
Yeah, you say that. You're like, that would cost you. Actually, make a roll. This would be a mental check. If you have anything for like remembering, you're gonna have a -1 because of the drugs, I think.
Because you're absolutely tripping dicks right now.
You guys are having a great time. I'm over here being jelly.
Yeah. So you said like Los Angeles. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're like, yeah, that would cost you $1,400 a month in Los Angeles, and then you're like, wait, why did
What's
I say
Los Angeles?
Why did I say that? What? Yeah, it's as the you feel like the memory is like you can't remember why you said that or what Los Angeles really is. You're kind of lost. And then you just like hear, because you're tripping, you just hear the word Los Angeles repeated over and over again in your own head, in your voice, just over and over again.
So, where are we?
Oh, yes. Well, welcome to Nibiru.
Like,
You're
you
home.
see Ernest like finish tying the boat off. He comes walking back over to you guys, and he shoots Naela a look. If you want to try to figure out what that look means, you can make a roll.
Yeah.
Roll with intuition.
Sure.
I want to know what this look means.
Okay.
I'm not worried about it. I'm tripping balls. Everyone is melted.
I'll give you a +1, Naela, because you know him, like because you spend time around him. Success, Derrin.
Yep.
Savvy success.
Hey.
All right. So Derrin, he shoots her a look of worry and concern, and it's clearly about you guys because he's like refusing to look at you. There's that he does that thing where he like maybe he looks at you for a split second and you meet his gaze and he like quickly looks away or something.
I mean, we are all kind of naked.
Yeah. It's more than that though. It's like it's like
He doesn't want to acknowledge our presence.
it's almost like he sees you guys as a threat. Derrin. Naela, the look is like, great, we've got all these mouths to feed. That's what the look is. And he kind of pauses and stares at Naela for a moment, just kind of like intently. Do you do anything, Naela?
Yeah, she's gonna walk over to him and just kind of lay her head on his shoulder and just whispers, it's okay. We'll figure it out. We always do.
He says, I didn't realize there'd be so many.
We better get them out of the cold.
He nods, and he looks toward you guys, and he says, well, you poor, poor fools, washed upon the shores of a place such as this. And vagabonds, no less. Well, we don't have much, but let's get you guys inside. Maybe we can get you something to wear at least. He gestures towards this this sort of like makeshift outpost. Like looking at it, it's gonna be cramped. Like just looking at it, you can tell.
Is there any way, like, I know that resources are scarce, but is there any way that I could take, like, a quick look around to see if we have anything extra anywhere at all around here?
What do you mean?
So, like, food rations, I would say, is pretty scarce at this point. There's hardly enough for us. I guess I'm trying to look and see if there's other food sources here to make sure that everyone eats at least for this day.
So you could probably scavenge some stuff. If you guys want to take some time and go out and look, you can probably find some more stuff to eat. It is getting scarcer and scarcer, but there's ways. If you got really lucky and found a certain creature, maybe, or if you just found like a jackpot of fungus. You do know that at least last you checked, you guys probably had enough for the two of you to eat for at least a couple more days. But with, 4 new people, we're looking at like a day, 2 maybe. The real problem is going to be sleeping. And Cabadoo. Cabadoo is going to be a huge issue because you just used the last of your drugs on them. And they're clearly not built for this place. They look like Arku. Do you know what that means, Naela?
Uh,
I can just tell you.
yeah.
All right,
yeah,
Ramblers,
it
let's
is.
get rambling.
They look tall and frail.
Yeah. They're not built for this environment. They're tall, they're lanky. They look physically weak, like they haven't used their body at all. And even like teaching them your ways, like your techniques, it's not going to help them a whole lot. The injection you gave them, make a roll. It'd be like a medicine, or I don't know. I suppose we can maybe give you one for survival. Be a normal roll. Okay. So the injections you gave them are going to buy them a week at most. Now, it's not like it's going to be pleasant that whole week. They're going to trip for probably the rest of the day. And then slowly over the course of the next week, the medicine's going to wear off. So it's going to get worse and worse for them. Unless you can find more medicine for them or get them to a place that is not, super strong gravity.
Closer to the core.
Yeah, closer to the core. Even like getting them into a DDM machine would help counteract the effects temporarily, but as soon as they step back out, and
Even
you
at
need
that, we only have 2.
Yeah, you need those to sleep. So you guys share 2 of them between 6 people. It might be kind of hard. Like they literally just fit 1 person. But yeah, you could like go scavenging for more fungus or like creatures, that kind of stuff. If you wanted to like round up some more food. It could be dangerous, like there's dangerous creatures here. You just met some of them. But there's others too. There's dangerous creatures on land also.
Yeah. Let's get them inside first, because they're, like I said, they're all probably freezing at this point. And they need clothes, because we don't need the bits getting frostbit.
Okay. All right. So yeah, Ernest like gestures towards this sort of like moon landing looking shelter. And he walks up to it and like turns a large metal handle on the door, and yanks it open. We hear like the sound of air kind of like rushing probably from the outside in, or from the inside out. I mean, I would think. So like air kind of pushes out slightly, like there's a difference in pressure when he opens the door, and like gestures to let you guys inside.
Before we go too far, would it be possible to try and like see the like worries across Naela's face?
Yeah, absolutely. You want to make another roll?
Yeah, nonverbal communication.
Okay.
Yep.
Naela, I think he gets a pretty good bead on the emotions you're feeling right now. What is it?
She is also worried. Almost looks frightened in a sense. Highly stressed. all of that.
Okay.
All right. So, do you guys enter the shelter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cassidy is going to be the last one to tell in. He's definitely gonna like hesitate at the door frame, kind of look around a little bit first.
Yeah. Naela, do you wait until they all go in, or do you go in first? Like, what order do you go?
Naela waits last.
You know, wait.
Then her and Cassidy are gonna have like a standstill at the door because Cassidy will not
Yeah.
go in before her.
So we just
unless
see
she,
you guys
pushes
like
her in.
awkwardly as like Ernest
He's
is
gonna shove you in there.
Come on, ladies. You can't stare at our asses for that long.
Sure I can. You're lucky I haven't jumped on you yet.
Cassidy's just gonna like go red and look the other way.
Dank's just gonna laugh. He's like, if only you'd think you got a chance with me.
Yeah, Cassidy, he says that, but it sounds like a little off, right? Like it's more like me. So his words go all distorted. As you like the drugs are really getting to you. You feel a little bit lightheaded.
Her pupils are probably taking up like 90% of her iris right now.
She will gently help you inside, not actually shove you.
Well, let's be honest, at 2.4 times gravity, it probably still feels like it.
Yeah. And she's used to it, so it doesn't really. So maybe she almost like shoves you harder than she intended, or it just like affects you more. Yeah. All right. Well, for those of you who do enter the shelter, the first thing you see when the door is opened is like a blue light that sort of covers everything inside. You do see like some counters, what looks like some like a refrigeration unit, some dim lights, like almost like dim like LCD screens. So one of them is like blinking on the other side of the room. As far as seating goes, there's only like a couch. Like it's not even really a couch; it's just shaped like a couch. But it's like two seating, and then there's like a small like metal chair next to a table across the room. Like it's like a studio apartment that's really small. So you have like what is clearly like a cooking area, and what is clearly like a sitting and relaxing area, like working area. But you don't see any beds. Yeah, like looking up at the ceiling, if you look up to see what the source of the blue light is, you see these, there's a few like blue mushrooms that are growing from like like refuse spots on the ceiling. So like a fungus that's growing out of the ceiling. And they're glowing, and they sort of like give some light to the inside of the compartment. I've got a little map for you guys. I'll or like a little screen. I'll show you guys what it kind of looks like in here.
Roughly how tall is like the ceiling?
I would say it's probably 10 feet, maybe slightly more at most.
Damn.
No grabbing the mushrooms.
I mean, you
Well,
could,
I was just gonna poke them.
you could probably reach the mushrooms. They stick down like a foot or two. They're not small.
I just want to like poke it. Reach up and poke it.
Okay. Make a normal roll.
Oh my god.
And then -1 because of physical, right?
Yeah. All right. So yeah, you reach up. We see you like reach up and poke the mushroom, and for everyone else, she just reaches up and pokes the mushroom. It just kind of like jostles slightly, and like it moves under her finger. And then, but for you, when you reach up and poke this thing, it's like that scene in The Matrix where Neo like dips his hand into the mirror, it, like ripples, and like your finger like goes inside of it. And yeah, and it's like, and you have this weird concern, like for some reason you feel like it's pulling you into it. Like you're like if you keep poking at it, it's gonna like pull you into the mushroom.
I'm gonna quickly back up and go over by Zack and do kind of like, you know how like the kids will kind of like be like diagonal behind.
Yeah.
She does that.
It's like you use Zack as a meat shield.
Kind of.
Yeah.
From the glowy shroom.
And Ernest says, yeah, it's not much, but you're welcome to take shelter here.
Well, thanks.
Much obliged. Dank's gonna find a spot to sit down and just like play the guitar to chill out for a second.
Yeah. And like as you guys kind of walk past, he says to Naela, he says something. Does anyone try to like listen to what he says? He kind of like whispers. Make a roll if you got anything for like listening in or anything like that.
I don't think I do, so I think it's just a normal.
Okay. All right. Fumble. Dank, you get like a part of it. Something about responsibility. That's really something about that. Derrin and Naela, you obviously both hear this. What he says is, I hope you understand that they're your responsibility. You're gonna have to take care of them.
I know.
Yeah, and we see you like walk past, and he just sort of like stares at you, and you guys walk in. Then he closes the door once everyone's inside. He like closes the door. And like we see him like reach his hand to the side, and he like pushes a couple buttons, and we hear like the sound of metal moving as the door like locks. And then he like turns around. He's still wearing these dirty clothes, almost like a thermal that's kind of like grayish in color, very dirty. And it looks like it's made of like some kind of polyester or maybe like a silk. And he's got the sleeves kind of like rolled up. And as far as like pants, he's wearing like these very worn sort of like trousers that are made from the same material. There's no pockets on them. They're almost like rag pants. They're made from the same material, and they're cut off at the bottom. They look like they were frayed, so they're probably up to like mid shin. And his feet are bare and very dirty. He's sort of got like soot and like dirt and stuff that's kind of smeared all over him. His hands and stuff.
Naela is going to go searching for clothes.
Yeah. So yeah, we see you go over to like one of the nearby storage compartments, and yeah, you open it up, and you got some stuff in here. There's, it's a lot of this stuff is kind of like one size fits all, but you guys are smaller than these guys are. You're shorter, but you're wider. So maybe the shirt's gonna be a little tight, but it's similar style clothes to what Ernest is wearing. It's dirty. It's not clean. And you see like rifling through the cabinets, you pull out a couple sets of these like clothes. They're probably not even folded. They're probably just like thrown into a drawer. And like Ernest kind of like nods as you like pull him up on the counter.
She will bring these little garments to you guys and is like, here, you're gonna need it.
Thanks. Does this happen often?
You'd be surprised. This isn't our first.
You see Ernest behind her. He shakes his head no when you ask that question. But he doesn't correct her or anything.
Yeah, take some clothes.
I will also take some clothes.
Yeah. Gonna just set the guitar down, put some clothes on, get my dangly bits out of the open.
Naela kind of plucks one of the strings of the guitar because she hasn't seen one before. And she's like, what is this?
It is my pride and joy. It's a bass guitar, fully acoustic. As soon as Dank finishes getting dressed, he's gonna pick it up and just play a couple of scales on it. Just
Yeah. It works. Plays great. It sounds good. Yeah. Hollow body, bass guitar. It's really pretty, silvery blue color. Look, it's like really sturdy too. Something that probably strikes you, Naela. Make a normal roll. I don't know if you have anything that's like would help you understand the makeup of certain metals or anything like that.
Nope, just a normal.
I'll have Ernest roll as well.
Success.
Oh.
Dang it!
Going
Taking
on.
all our luck.
So you see, like, first of all, you like messing with the guitar, and Ernest like holds a hand up to his head, and he seems like he gets dizzy for a moment, and he like puts out a hand to catch himself on the wall and like stabilizes himself. And he like breathes, like a deep breath, and then he like composes himself. He doesn't say anything. For you, Naela, the metal it's made out of is particularly dense. It's I'll say this, it doesn't seem to be a material you've ever seen anyone use. Not even like you've probably had some run-ins with some Covenant soldiers or maybe even Arcus soldiers. It's higher quality metal than what they'd have for sure. Like you've probably never seen anything made from this material.
This is fantastic. Don't let anyone take it from you.
many have tried, none have succeeded.
No, seriously, this is precious. Keep it with you at all times.
That's the plan.
Ernest kind of like steadies himself, and he says to Naela, he says, "They look like Arku. They're gonna stick out like a sore thumb."
What are Arku?
Well, Arku was like first people who got here. You're very tall. and the gravity is going to greatly affect you worse than it will us. You're more fragile than we are.
Yeah, Ernest kind of like he looks at you all like it's almost like he's annoyed to even like address you. And
Yeah, so he's racist.
make a roll.
Make a racist check.
Yeah, make a racist check.
May I
I
make
have
something?
a question, Sam, before we continue with this.
Okay.
Is there a way for me to make a roll, like, I don't know if survival could be included in this, but to come up or think of ideas to how to make them look like us, even a little bit?
Ooh. Well, the clothes will certainly help. I mean, you can make a normal roll for it would be like it would depend on like how you're planning on doing this. So like, are you planning on trying to like disguise them somehow, or you planning to like, I don't know, try to use some kind of technology to make them appear like something they're not? Like, what are you trying to figure out if you can do?
Technology, if we have that here, but I didn't think that we
You would-
did because we're poor.
No, you wouldn't have it on you, but you could try to, I don't know, do something crazy to get it, like attack an outpost or something.
No, ew, we can't be doing that. So for now, we'll have to go with disguise
Okay.
because there's still stuff that they have to learn before we actually go out into the world.
Okay. Make a normal roll.
Would the survival be
Sure.
included? Because she knows we'll probably die if this doesn't work.
Yeah, I'll allow you to include survival. Oh,
I'm spending an influence point right now.
okay. Spend an influence point.
Doing it again. Oh God.
Hey, that's
Okay.
better. Okay. So, there's little things you could do to help. Like you could smudge dirt or soot on them to like really dirty them up. Because it would look weird if they're in dirty clothes, but they're still kind of clean from the waters. The thing, and maybe it would kind of cover up like how clean their skin is too, right? Like their skin is like they don't have scars really or anything. For the most part, I don't know actually, because Cassidy, do you have?
Mhm.
Is there something particularly weird about the way you look?
Do tattoos carry over?
Probably not. No.
No. Then, depending on whether or not she might have small nicks and cuts on her hands and upper and lower arms. But other than that, no.
Okay.
Not yet.
Yeah, like for the most part, their skin's not like weathered. Like it's not. They don't appear to have really done much work. Their muscles appear pretty atrophied. Like people in Umbra are hardy. They work really hard. Their bodies are extremely toned and muscular. These guys are not. Their bodies are often like beaten and scarred from just like working and doing stuff throughout their normal lives. These guys are like newborn babies for the most part. So you can like dirty them up, and that's going to cover up some of the. You can't like. There's nothing you can do to like shrink their height or like give them muscles, or anything like that. You could cover them up. You could like grab some. If you might have like a couple blankets or like cloths. You could cobbled together to like basically have them wearing a hood and just like covering all their skin entirely, and sort of like treat them as like you could like pass them off as like people that you own, like slaves. But if anybody gets too close, they're probably going to recognize they don't belong here.
We will do both. We will dirty them up and use the cloth.
Sure. I mean, it'll take some time, but yeah, you can do that. Yeah. Ernest, he kind of like, I guess he just sort of watches you as you go around, start gathering supplies up. Maybe, he just sort of like stands back and lets you do that. Maybe you can like grab some of the fungus that's like these blue mushrooms are growing out of on the ceiling, like some of the mold, and like sort of like rub it on them to kind of dirty them up. Or you can just like go outside and scoop up some of the refuse on the shore and just like rub it all over their bodies too, depending on how you want to do that.
Whichever one is dirtier.
Go roll.
Yeah, you could do like a mixture of both. I mean, they're both kind of equally. I would say actually probably the stuff from outside would be dirtier.
I'll probably end up doing both, honestly. So you see her pretty much like get on her tiptoes, reach for the blue fungus looking things, lay it down on a table, grab like a small cup looking thing, and then she'll go outside, grab dirt, put it inside the cup, and then she would come back inside and put that on the table. And then she kind of stops and she turns and looks at you guys and she says, "Okay, so before anyone gets confused or anything like that, we are going to have to disguise you before you leave the shelter at all for any reason. Because if you go out looking like that," she kind of points to all of you in general, "you're going to, well, give away our position and we're all possibly going to get killed."
Oh god, are Arku that bad?
It's
Vagabonds.
Ernest says it's not really the Arku you have to worry about. They just come by to collect their payments from time to time. But if they
So we just gotta grime up to make it all more believable.
He nods. He says, and just for the record, Dank, it's not racism. You rolled a success there. It's not racism that he's sort of got against you guys. It's like it's more like you guys are a burden. And he doesn't feel the obligation to take care of you guys.
That's fair.
So yeah. And he says, it's the Covenant we got to worry about. You don't want them spotting them. And, well, if there's anything that goes hand to hand, Naela, you probably know this better than I do. It's Arku and Covenant.
All right, so what's Covenant?
Oh, wait. Sam, I think I might have a thing. Hold on. Would I be able to read the memory about the Covenant that I have?
Yeah, if you'd like to, yeah.
Okay, so you kind of see her just like lock eyes with you, Derrin, and she is staring at you intently. And then it's kind of like the whole world fades around her. And the memory that she has is, I remember being pulled up onto a shore from a body of water. I recognize Umbra now, but then I was so confused. Its air is difficult to breathe, and I find myself unable to move. I look up to see who the man is that pulls me. I recognize him as Skyless, a murderous Covenant agent who has committed many atrocities against my people. I thought we could. Oh no, hold on. Oh.
It's okay. Let me take a
I'm
look. See if I can help.
sorry.
You're fine.
I thought we could hide here. I was wrong. Skyless reaches to a knife on his belt and lunges toward me as everything goes black.
Yeah. So we get like our trademark blue lens flare as you like relive this memory. Are you communicating it to Derrin?
He's communicating it to all.
Okay. Yeah, so she tells you about this memory. Maybe it's like for the purposes of the audience, it's like we hear you narrating as you're telling the story to Derrin, and we just like see the scene playing out on screen. And I guess Dank, you would probably recognize the name Skyless, although it's a bit fuzzy.
Fair enough. That name sounds kind of familiar. I don't know why, but I feel I've heard it.
Yeah.
Would Naela know that they don't remember the dream that they quote unquote shared together?
You do know that, I mean, if you've had any experience with other vagabonds besides you and Ernest, you would know that most people don't like remember anything from before once they wake up here.
Okay, fair.
But yeah, I mean, they'll remember like their own name sometimes, or at least they'll think they do. They might remember like certain really powerful feelings, but like there's not context to a lot of these memories. So sometimes it's just bits and pieces sometimes. And then usually like as they live, like as they get used to being here, they'll either like lose all those memories or they'll recover them over time. And they'll start to like recover pieces of them. But it works different for different vagabonds.
Yeah. So after the memory that she explains, she kind of blinks and just kind of looks around at all of you and says, Skyless has been searching for us, for our kind. We have to stick together and stay out of sight. They will hunt you down. They will capture you. They will use you for some sick experiments that I don't even know.
Ernest
Or
makes,
they'll kill you.
Ernest makes a face when she talks about the experiments. And you want to try to get around that read on that face, Derrin?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Oh, that's what you're gonna say.
Question: I can't use multiple pluses to one roll, right?
You can, yeah.
Oh,
yeah, you can.
intuition and nonverbal.
Sure. Ooh.
Oh,
No influence.
Oh.
yes!
no.
fluid.
So I think you get a negative memory from this. Okay, you're gonna roll influence. Hang on, let me make sure that you can, because like rule of threes is kind of a big deal. Let me just make
Okay,
sure.
I won't hit the button yet.
I don't know that we've ever had a critical failure yet.
Yeah, only critical success.
So I should make sure you do it right. Rule 3 is so memories.
Ooh.
Entails the action performance. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think you can. It doesn't say you can't re-roll it.
Cool.
All right.
Good gracious.
Just a fail. Just a fail.
Better than critical failure.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah, definitely. Because you would have gotten a negative effect from the critical failure. You would have gotten a -1 to probably one of the things you rolled. So either intuition or nonverbal communication. All right. So yeah, he just can't read. Ernest is kind of a hard guy to read in general. And so he makes a face and then you have no idea.
I feel like Naela should make this roll.
You can if you want.
Unless he's just gonna tell her what the deal is.
I don't think he's
Do
going
I-
to. No, he's not. He's
do
not
it-
like, yeah, you make a roll.
Do I get the +1 for being around him all the time?
Sure. When you bring up the experiments, it makes him think of a memory. Like you recognize the look of PTSD on his face as he's reliving something that probably one of your run-ins with them, and there's just like pain and rage on his face. Like his face kind of trembles, maybe he almost like borderline snarls, a little bit curls one edge of his mouth, with like white hot rage for a moment. Like he's kind of lost in the memory. You could try to like grab his hand or something, like snap him out of it.
Yeah, she's gonna walk up to him and just gently touch his arm and just slide her hand into his and just goes, "It's okay."
Yeah, like as soon as you make contact with him, it's like waking him up from a dream, kind of. Like he suddenly jolts slightly, and like it's almost like he realizes where he is, and then sort of like calms himself and breathes, and he
I'm
nods.
sorry.
It's okay.
Sorry to interrupt, but so what's the plan now then, I guess, if this sightless person is coming after us?
Survive. That's all you can do.
Yeah, Ernest says we've managed to hide from them for some time. That's why we came all the way out here. But look, Naela, Charchmesh is going to have questions when they come for their next delivery. We don't have anywhere to put them. We don't even have our payment. I know we wanted to wait until we were ready, but maybe we should just leave. Maybe we should try to get... Maybe we can sneak by the outpost, make it to Nantaku, or another settlement, find someone that could take us in short term.
That sounds like a great idea. But I think we should try and get some rest at some point tonight before we head out. And we're going to have to teach them the breathing techniques for when the medication runs out.
We can try, but it's not going to help them. We're going to need to get them more crotch. And, well, it's not like we have the stuff to refine it. We're going to have to get to someone we can trade with sooner or later. Or maybe we can do some work. I know they're not in the condition for it now. We need to let them get their bearings, but I don't know. This place, it will kill them. It's just a matter of time.
Wait, we're gonna die?
Yeah, he looks at Derrin and he says, "It's the Cabadoo. You're not built for it."
Cabadoo?
Naela, help me out here. It's the weight of this place. Don't you feel
The
heavy?
gravity.
It's more than what you're used to. We are in one of the farthest places. So the gravity is a lot heavier here than it would be to the core.
Where people like you are from.
Where we're from?
People that look like you.
Oh, the Arku. Okay.
Yeah, he nods. He says, when they come to collect, if they see them, they'll know. They'll know something's up. It's
How
always
much time do we have before they come collect?
I don't know, a lapse, maybe 2. How long has it been? He kind of looks confused.
You know how many lapses it's been since the last time they've came?
It's probably like they come once a cycle. Maybe once or twice a cycle. Depends. Make a roll. Be a normal roll.
Do I get any pluses for this?
Do you have? Yeah, I'll give you a +1 because you would likely have been keeping track.
Ah,
Cool.
influence point!
So okay, you got an influence point to spend. Go ahead.
Come on, computer.
So like when you spin an influence point, just so you guys know, you don't have to re-roll all the dice. You can also be like, I just want to re-roll the 1, or obviously like you re-roll all the dice, you have a better chance of getting a 4 or whatever, but just depending on the situation.
Right. I think we've just been unlucky enough to need to re-roll all of them.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Screw it, I'll just re-roll the whole thing.
Hey,
There we
you go.
go.
Much better.
Yeah. So you're pretty sure it's in. It's gonna be in 3 lapses. You were here last time. They were here.
We have about 3 more lapses. That's when they'll be here.
Yeah. Ernest goes, right. Sorry. And he kind of like taps his head.
You're okay.
That doesn't give us much time. I don't know that we'll be able to stave them off again. We didn't have much for them last time.
What are they trying to collect?
Harvest, food, resources, whatever we can scrounge together out here. He looks up at the ceiling, at the fungus growing from the ceiling. Points at it. Food.
Fair enough. So it sounds like we just need to go out and find more food or not be here when they come to collect.
Yeah, he looks at you, Naela. Like, what do you think?
I think that we need to take what we have food-wise and leave as soon as we can. Because if they take again, we'll be left with practically nothing. And they don't really care, so
They'll just give up like that?
Ernest shakes his head.
they don't care if we die or not, is what I mean.
If we're not here when they arrive, they'll likely wait for us. Or at least leave an attachment. To get out...
So-
Go ahead.
So if they're going to leave people behind, we just need to grab everything that's necessary. Or that we can, and just not come back, as much as that would suck. Is there anywhere we could go?
We could try to find another vault. But if we're going to try to get to Nantaku, we're going to have to go by their outpost. And if we go to another vault here in the Sorrows, well, they're going to collect from them too.
So we just need to get off the grid, somewhere they're not going to look.
Yeah, why don't we head to this core? If being far away from it's what's gonna kill us, then why don't we head that way?
That would be toward Otaku. Again, we have to go by their outpost.
So we could just see if we could either scavenge, barter, or steal from them on the way through.
Ayla.
From what it sounds like, a straight up conflict wouldn't be a good idea.
Yeah, not with us in this condition.
Need to do some kind of physical fitness boot camp.
I
What's
know I don't look like it, but I can build.
What do you mean build?
I don't have tools, but I can make things.
We might be able to find you some tools.
What kind of things do you make?
Um, I don't remember much, but I remember building big things. Animatronics. They could move freely.
Robots.
Yeah. But
Ernest kind of
big.
like chuckles. And he says, this one's got a gift with automatons.
And a
That's
place
going
full
to
of
be
scrap metal and
useful.
tech, yeah.
Well, there's a place in Otaku we can go. there are others who work with both AI and automatons there. The
All
problem
right,
is,
so we get the basis of a plan.
he says the problem, I think, is going to be getting by that outpost.
Well, what would be some of the problems in getting by the outpost?
Well, to put it quite simply, if they see you, we're in big trouble.
Okay, so we need to not be seen. What kind of surveillance, or what do they got out watching? Do we know numbers? Do we know tactics? What do we know?
Do you want to make a roll, Naela?
Yeah. Would I be able to add one to for survival for this? Because they'll probably, I don't know.
Sure. Sure, maybe you scouted. Maybe you scouted the place.
Especially if we've been thinking about leaving this place for a while now.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. That's a success. So, the gist of this outpost is I think they have approximately 80 people. Let me check. Give me 1 second, because there's a handout on this. Here we go. The outpost is called UWOL-01 Outpost. And it was the staging point for colonization efforts in the Sorrows. But once the big flood happened, killed a lot of people, most of its personnel has been relocated. They've left a small detachment to run what's been labeled as upkeep operations in the area. Basically, they just tax the locals' produce and they relay information back to the arcane branches of government in the penumbra. This outpost stands directly between farmers of the Sorrows and their aspirations of freedom, which makes its very existence a threat to the locals' livelihood. There's approximately 80 people there, and this is like the choke point. This is what's keeping the region in sort of a deadlock. They don't let people in or out, really. It's kind of you guys are sort of an exception getting in, which means it's going to be even less likely that they'll let you leave, especially considering you haven't been paying your taxes. Now, you might be able to sneak through, but it's going to be difficult. These guys do have technology. They've got death spitters, which are basically guns. They're armored. They're not people you want to mess with. And with 80 personnel there, that could be 80 people. There could be some AIs that are working there with them as well, or some automatons. They're different things. So they've got, they probably have cameras surrounding the outpost, maybe even infrared cameras, that kind of stuff, watching the area around the outpost. It's a secure, high technology location. If you were somehow able to get in there and steal some stuff, it'd be really valuable. They do have good weapons, armor, that kind of stuff, but it won't be easy if you're planning to do that.
Might want to come back to that later. It seems like that's the thing keeping this region kind of oppressed. So maybe we come back with allies, have a whole insurrection kind of thing going on, overthrow them. But for now, it seems our resources are limited, so we need to do something a bit more tactical.
Depending on the range of their surveillance, we could just give the area a wide berth and try to sneak through another checkpoint kind of area.
Yeah,
Or
is there
we
not
could
just a way around?
Ernest shakes his head. The only way out of the Sorrows is, well, either deeper into the water and darkness, which means worse gravity, and no one's ever come back from beyond that place, or we go by the outposts. Like I said, it's there for a reason. All the corridors from this side of the outpost leading to Nataku go by that place.
Well, we could potentially disguise our way through.
How do you
I
mean?
mean, you said they use automatons. What do the automatons look like? Are they more like, us, like how the Arku look, or are they more like how you guys
All right, Ramblers, let's get rambling.
Because we could be retrofitted to look like some kind of scrap-made automatons, potentially passing our way through.
Ernest says, automatons, I mean, if we covered your face, your skin, perhaps we could pass you off, throw some kind of hood over you. But they're metal.
Yeah.
Typically, they have some kind of light on their face.
We could potentially whip up something that would match that kind of scrutiny if we had some details to go on.
We do have somebody that says she's good with tools.
This is true. And, specializes in robotics.
We could try to scavenge some parts to use.
Okay. You said we have 3 lapses?
Yes.
I'm unfamiliar with that time frame. What would that be comparable to?
I'm sorry, I don't understand. What do you mean?
How do you
Um,
measure a lapse?
He looks confused. What, you never heard of a lapse before?
mm-mm.
Not in those terms.
I mean, we're pretty new to everything here.
This is true. And the more we learn and the quicker we learn, the more valuable assets we can be.
He kind of like brings a hand to his chin like he's thinking, and he says, a lapse is usually about the time it takes for... Okay, so you wake up, you go through your, you do your stuff. You go eat, you go work, you go back to sleep, you get in your pod, you sleep. And then when you wake up again, it's usually been about a lapse. Does that help?
So like a
Yeah.
day.
You say the word day, and he looks confused.
It's like, how much would I actually remember to be able to, explain this?
You'd probably be familiar with the word day, right? Like,
Yeah.
I think you probably remember a fair bit of stuff like this. This is stuff that you would interact with every day. It'd probably be pretty fresh in your memory.
Would Naela know what a day is?
Probably not.
Mhm.
Probably
So
not.
she looks just as confused as Ernest. Like, what are you talking about?
I'd look to, Zack and Derrin and be like, guys, back me up on this.
Yeah, like sun comes up, sun goes down, day.
Wait, sun?
What's a sun?
Fuck, I
Big
don't have a
flaming
sun.
ball of plasma. Wait, we don't have a sun here.
I don't think they have a fucking sun here.
They don't
There's
have a sun.
nothing but darkness here.
Yeah.
Oh shit, they don't have a
Wait,
sun.
Ernest goes.
Oh no, it's
Ernest-
Space Norway.
Ernest goes. Hold on a second. What was the world you came from like? What parts of it do you remember? What was this sun like?
Hot.
Bright and
warm, bright.
Yeah.
Kind of like
Painful when you're hungover.
he kind of like shakes his head back and forth. He's like, "It sounds like the core. I don't understand. What are the ceilings like where you come from?"
There is
I mean,
none.
we
Well, I
have this
mean,
big
sure
open space.
have
There's ceilings in buildings, yeah, but I mean, you go outside and then there's the sky.
It's
Sky.
endless.
He looks
Yeah,
at you.
it goes
Sky?
like millions of
There-
miles up to the sun and then keeps on going.
Millions of what?
Yeah, it just goes straight out to space.
Naela, do you know what these guys are saying?
No.
I don't understand.
Wow,
No.
culture shock.
I'm gonna need you
Wait,
guys.
so there's a ceiling here?
I'm gonna need you guys all to make a as you're like coming to
All right,
terms.
Ramblers, let's get rambling.
Just 1 second. First of all, I want to say thanks for the follow to Ultra Shiny Mew. Ayataku Hime, I see you. That's the artist for Cassie's artwork. So if you want to check him out on TikTok. It's at Ayataku Hime. And there was another one too. Who the fuck cares? That's a great name. Thanks for the follow.
That's my buddy
on.
Seth.
All right.
Hey, Seth.
Thanks, Seth. Okay. So yeah, he says Sky, I don't understand what they're saying. Miles, I don't recognize these terms. Naela,
Did he get space?
no.
Surely he knows space.
No.
No.
Space, like he sort of like gestures around him. Space in here, like this space that we're taking up.
Yeah,
Like
you
this
know, like the
small
infinite
space?
blackness with stars and you know,
Stars.
insurmountable distance between one point to another.
What are these stars you speak of?
Like the sun.
Yeah, they're like the sun, except further away.
So okay, as you guys are like coming to terms with, I think it sounded like a couple of you were kind of in shock, like shocked by this sort of like revelation that there's no sky here, there's no
I
sun.
mean,
Sky?
gelling with it pretty well. I mean, these guys look like dwarves. Of course, they don't know the sky.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna say it's gonna be like a stress check. We'll say it's like a 3d4 as far as the difficulty goes. So I'll roll first, and then you guys can decide.
That's just like a normal.
I mean, you can roll it as normal or contested, but we're gonna add it up and compare it to the total of the that I get on the stress check here. And
All
just for approximation, a 3d4 is probably the lowest stress check I'm ever gonna give you guys. So just it's not like a really hard one.
Huzzah!
Watch them roll 3 4s.
I rolled a 9. I rolled a 4, 3, and a 2. Now, oh
man!
Oh no!
No.
Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna re-roll. You're gonna re-roll.
I'm a reroll.
Okay, all right. You got an influence point. You can re-roll.
Jesus,
That would be
Wait.
real bad.
fails in one session.
Almost another!
Okay.
Spend an influence point.
Okay, all right. So, Cassidy,
That's
that
still under
11
the
is
number.
final, I assume.
Yeah.
Can I
Who
use
all
my
needs
+2
to wait?
response to unknown?
I'm gonna do
Uh,
another one.
I will allow that. This would be unknown. This would be considered
One tripping
unknown.
in the back is the only one that's taking this, okay?
Yeah. You're just like probably not even paying attention. Like,
Oh, good, that was contested.
like the mush.
I have to make this check too
No.
because they're spouting a bunch of nonsense.
No. You don't have to make this check because you're used to the way the world is. Like, this is no shock to you.
Well, but we are saying like other stuff that the world isn't, and like describing our world.
That's fair. Okay.
That's why I was asking.
I mean, yeah, that's fair. I don't know. Have you heard stories like these from vagabonds before, Naela? I'm not sure how much experience you have. If you haven't, then I would say yes. And since you didn't recognize sky and stuff, I'm gonna say yeah. You got to make the check. You haven't heard
Yeah.
those stories.
I get a +1 to unknown though, so what's up?
Okay. So Darren's beat it. Naela failed.
Oh, no.
Oh my god! Hold on, re-rolling the one.
You're
My
gonna
bad.
re-roll the 1. Okay, all right.
Yeah. What's the thing?
You got to beat a 9.
You gotta beat on 9. So if you re-roll the 1,
Yeah,
just
Is it a
slash roll.
1d4 or what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
1d4.
yeah, 1d4, yeah. Okay.
Okay, we're
so
good.
yeah, you beat it. Okay. So what were just name your totals. So Dank, what was your total?
I burned another influence point and you got a 10.
A 10. Okay.
Hmm.
All right. Naela beat it, right?
Yes.
Zack,
Yeah.
what was your total?
I rolled an 8, but I'm spending it to influence points to re-roll the 1.
Okay. Did you do it already? Okay.
Oh,
So you
there
made
we
it
go.
2. So that makes it a 9. So I'm gonna say meets it, beats it, or whatever. And then Wolfy, you rolled high enough, right?
Yeah, 11.
Me and Wolfy both rolled 11s.
All right. So everybody's good. Nobody goes down a mind step.
All
right. It's close because if you got stuck with that 3, I would have tripled you, and that would have put you straight to broken, I think.
Yeah.
My God.
So, and you would have gotten
Oh,
negative
man's
memory.
already down.
So
Would
you
have
would
been broken trying to explain the sun.
yeah. It would have been crazy. Okay. So you guys are all fine. But yeah, it's weird because like you guys are talking about stars. When you came up out of the water, you saw like lights in the sky, like above you. Like you saw lights, like it was a nighttime sky almost. Some of them were flickering or moving slightly, so that's kind of odd. But yeah, it seemed to you guys, it kind of seemed like there was a night sky. So it probably would strike you that it's kind of weird. They don't know what you're talking about.
So wait, you don't. There's like lights above earlier. That's not a thing?
Ernest, because you mean out there, he points at the door.
Yeah.
Yes. You don't have like. Well, I guess they were moving, so you don't have like satellites or something?
Yeah, he doesn't seem to recognize the word. He said, "Those are lights in the ceiling. They're part of Nibiru."
So it's completely enclosed.
Yes.
Of course.
So what's outside?
What do you mean? Outside the door?
No, outside the ceiling.
What?
Yeah, he kind of starts laughing.
So they don't.
Well, above us is somewhere really far above us is Penumbra, right? And then above that is, well, I guess Penumbra and Entumbra are above us. We're sort of below them. But there's no sky in Entumbra either. It's like
There's only more ceiling.
Yeah, there's only ceiling everywhere.
Yeah.
Wow.
What's outside the walls?
Yeah.
More walls. I don't. Naela, these people seem very confused. And that's coming from me.
She kind of giggles. She's like, okay, enough with the who's-its and the what's-its and the fake stars and the fake suns and the fake whatevers.
Yeah. I guess we'll have time for that later.
There's ceilings here, and that's the end of it. That's all you need to know, and all you need to know is that you need to not die.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of the
That's
most
fair.
important thing
Yeah.
at the moment.
All right, so how do we go about not dying?
I've got the whole breathing thing down.
No,
no,
no, you don't. No, you don't.
I mean, with the drugs.
No, you really still don't. I mean, the drugs help, I guess, for you guys, but you clearly aren't breathing right.
See, we don't even know how to breathe right.
I've been breathing my whole life. What have I been doing wrong?
Failure.
Shall I give them a demonstration?
Yeah, he knows.
Oh, she's going to show us how to breathe. This should be interesting.
He nods and takes a step back.
Oh god. Do I need to make a roll for this?
You have
No,
to roll to
you
breathe.
do this all the time. Like, this is part of your daily routine. You probably spend like 30 minutes to an hour when you wake up or before you go to bed doing like specific breathing exercises.
Yeah.
And like yoga and stretches and all that kind of stuff. And you know,
yeah.
when you don't do it right, you know, because you start getting headaches and stuff. So like if you miss it for like a day, you start to feel it. But yeah, this is like second nature to you. You don't have to make a roll.
She looks at everyone before she gets into like, I don't know, we'll just say like a downward dog position or whatever. And then she's like, do this right after you wake up and right before you go to sleep. Do it twice elapse. Do you understand?
Okay, so
sure.
we gotta do yoga, otherwise we'll die.
I feel like a yuppie.
Yoga and breathing.
Okay.
It's not really going to help them, Naela.
It'll buy us some time, though.
I hope you're right.
Every little bit.
And she's going to show you the stuff.
Yeah. So you're like,
oh, the stuff.
Like, she's basically like meditation breathing, right? So she's like paying extreme attention to like, yeah, like trying to like draw out how long it takes to take a breath, all that stuff. Maybe, maybe she's able to like concentrate and really get her like total time of a breath to like a couple minutes for like one breath. So like really slow inhale, really slow exhale. If she really takes time and focuses on it. That's just something you guys are gonna probably notice. Yeah, and Ernest is like, these people, they breathe like they don't even think about it.
I mean, most people don't have to think about breathing.
Yeah, it's like an automatic thing.
Well, here, you're going to have to think about it at least a little bit.
Underground space Australia. Even the air is trying to kill us.
She looks at you like you're dumb and says, what?
Yeah, it's a thing you would.
Cassidy's sitting in the back nodding.
But you see, Australia is a place that's on the other side of the world, so it's upside down.
Everything is backwards. The toilet's flushed the wrong way.
Yeah, and Ernest goes, the other side of the world is the core. Like,
Which is where we're going to.
Oh, wait,
Yes,
so
totally what I meant.
Space Australia has its own Space Australia.
Wouldn't Space Australia be like Space US?
What is us?
Fair.
Ernest kind of like stops the middle of the conversation, and he has a confused look on his face.
Ernest, what is it?
Did we make him short circuit?
We broke him.
He goes, who are these people? Where's Martha?
Oh, no. Whoops.
What's going on, Naela? Why are they wearing our clothes?
These are the new vagabonds that I had to go out into the mermaid-infested waters to help save.
Holy cow. 1 second. Sorry. 1 second.
Okay.
Thanks, Anonymous, for gifting 3 tier 1 subs.
Hey.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Whoever did that, thank you. That's cool. Wow. Okay, sorry, continue.
So she kind of sits him down at the table and she looks at him and she says, "These are the vagabonds that I had to go out into mermaid-infested waters to help save."
Oh. Did not mean to hit that. Oh, right. Sorry.
That's okay. Have you taken your medicine?
No, I don't think so. He goes over to a cabinet, like opens it up, and then he looks confused. He turns around and he says, "Do you know where it is? I think I might have misplaced it again."
She's gonna go over there and start trying to look for it.
You're gonna pretend to look for it? Okay, all right.
Can I help?
Sure, yeah.
Oh God! Damn it! I took it.
So you're pretending to look. So I think we're gonna have you make a roll to see how well you pretend to look, and then since he's helping you, that'll give you a +1. And Derrin, if you want to make a roll to see if she's like, if you can pick up on the fact that she's faking this, you can.
Okay.
And it'll be like a normal roll. Maybe you can use like intuition or nonverbal communication. But
Both is good?
Yeah, both. Yeah, both would be fine, I think.
Oh my God!
Why?
Fumble from Derrin. All right, Naela, you successfully pull it off. Like, you're really convincing. So you have everybody fooled, including Derrin, who can read people for some reason. He just rolled really badly.
Story of this session.
Yeah. So you see, like, digging through the cupboard, and yeah, you're like, I don't know. You put it right here or whatever, and you pull it off.
It's okay. We'll get you some more.
How?
I'll figure it out.
I mean, we were gonna go look for resources anyway, so.
I don't think we can refine it here. We had to trade for that. Right, Naela? Is Ernest talking to you?
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to think if they like actually had to trade for that or.
I think you did. Yeah.
Okay.
Like, there's some stuff that you can put in, like coffee and stuff it doesn't work as the actual medicine. Like, it'll stave off the effects of gravity temporarily. You can smoke it sometimes, but he needs those injectors and the stuff that you injected into yourself. And it's like a complicated process to actually refine it into like an injectable form. So you guys had to trade to get what you had. You were probably running low anyways. But yeah.
It's something that she's done before, though. She's had to refine something for herself so she could do it.
Okay. Sure. Okay.
Just maybe not with the tools we have on hand.
Yeah. Maybe you guys are out of batteries or getting close. Let's see here. There is a fungus that it would be made from. I think it's the white fungus. You've got a chart. You've got a
I'm
chart.
pretty sure it's the white fungus because it was the one that, well, it's Naela's drug of choice.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's made. Now, the problem with the white fungus is that there's two kinds that look very similar. One of them is the stuff that's medicine. The other one is a very potent neurotoxin.
Deadly neurotoxins.
Yes.
So usually people who deal with this stuff are licensed. They're licensed typically by the Araukana or by whatever city-state they're in. If they're in Itaku, it would be like licensed by the Wise Folk Council. You are not licensed, but you can still make it. It's just that you're not supposed to. It's kind of a crime.
Well, existing is a crime, okay?
Yeah.
The
We're
man just doesn't
already
want us to make our
there.
own medication.
No. I'm saying you can, but he totally can. You're just
No,
gonna
the man is in like.
Oh, okay. The man. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, Ernest kind of like calms down, and he's sort of like backs away from the group because he doesn't really recognize these people, and he feels really uncomfortable, and like he's done something. He's almost like got a look of shame, like he doesn't like want to interfere with whatever you've got going on. He's suddenly lost, and so he's just like, all right, I'm gonna let you take care of this because I don't know what to do.
You're doing great, Ernest. And then she's gonna kiss his forehead, turn around, and be like, okay, so you guys said that you wanted to help find resources? Fine. But there's things that you need to know. Stay as hidden as possible. Try not to get killed, because there are dangerous creatures on land. Okay?
I mean, if there's that dangerous stuff in the water, I bet.
It's Australia.
Oh my god.
If you
It's
want
Australia.
to help me, you can. But we can't stray too far from this place.
I mean, we don't really have much of a choice. We gotta do what we gotta do. Otherwise, we're all gonna die.
How are the, have the hallucinations hit in yet?
I am used to drugs. People melting is nothing new to me.
Wait, you've experienced that too?
Look at me. Look at me and tell me that I don't do drugs.
Yes! Oh my god! She looks over at Cassidy and Zack.
Cassie's like staring at the mushroom like it's God. Like one of the mushrooms growing on the ceiling.
It
She's
is.
Like her eyes are all
Oh.
wide, her mouth's just hanging open. She's probably drooling a little bit.
What about you, Zack? Or whoever you are. Who are you people? What are your names? What should I call you?
Derrin.
Cassidy is going to pet Zack's shoulder and go, Zack.
Wait, you
Your
two know each
name
other?
is Zack?
You can refer to me as Dank.
What the fuck kind of name is that?
Hey. Don't judge.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. And what's your name? She points to the female who just said her name was Zack. So she's pointing at the one next to her.
I think. Is that what happened? I thought.
No, Cassidy.
No, she was
tapped
patting
Zack.
Zack's shoulder, going, Zack.
Oh, okay.
Like, this is Zack.
Yeah.
I am Zack.
So she was.
So
We're all Zack here.
we have
His name is my
two
name
Zacks
too.
here.
Yes.
I'm Cassidy.
Okay.
He's Zack.
Are you going to be able to come with us? Or do you want to stay in here?
I'll come with you.
I think she's talking to Cassidy.
To both of you.
Oh, I'm coming.
Cassidy's the one tripping. Do you have entertainment? She's looking at Naela.
Like tripping
No.
balls isn't entertainment enough.
You can continue staring at the mushroom. I think you're getting enough entertainment or whatever the meaning is from that.
You can see her get like a little bit of frustration. No. Like every day, do you have entertainment?
No. She
Do you
kind of
have-
says that in a questioning manner.
I'm not
Do
sure
you
they
have
understand what entertainment is.
Oh, you know, like entertainment. He picks up the guitar and just starts jamming. Like music, culture, something to do that isn't necessarily needed, but is done for fun,
No.
enjoyment.
No.
Do you have some scraps that I can mess with?
We have some outside.
Cassie, make just like observing the room around you. There is quite a bit of like tech in here. So you can make some kind of roll to like assess that, either the condition of it. If you have something that would give you a bonus, like rolls on machines or electronics or something like that, you can apply that here.
I have 2 then, because I also have observation / perception.
Awesome. +2 then. Okay. So there's a lot of like screens and like monitoring devices in here. Some of them, like at first glance, you don't really recognize the symbols on them. But if you go back and like spend like time paying attention to them, you will be able to. But some of them are like blinking like error messages and stuff. So some of this stuff is clearly like either in disrepair or broken or just barely working. And you know, there are some like hodgepodges of parts that are sort of just like laying around in like the living like working area, maybe on the table. But they're sort of like broken. You know, these are things that were like we had to get rid of this part and replace it. You know, that kind of thing.
She's gonna pick up the spare parts and then and 1 or 2 that are doing like the error stuff, and she's going to be like, "May I?"
Sure.
She is going to sit down at the table and start pulling stuff apart, like 100% focused on this.
Okay. Make a roll. Yeah, I think you had a -2 for your mental condition, right?
Yes.
Okay, I know I didn't apply it on the last roll, but we're gonna make sure to apply it on this one. It should have applied to the last roll, but it's already happened. So, you get another roll. Just like see if you can fix this thing, or what are you trying to do?
I want to try to make like some kind of like little wind-up toy.
Okay, sure. You can have the same bonuses, -2. No. It should just be a normal roll, but then you succeeded. You can make a normal roll just in case you roll 3 4s or something.
Okay.
Or add 2 d4s.
Yeah. Roll 2 more d4s. That's fine. Okay. We'll count it as a savvy success. We'll take the first 2. So it'd be 4, 4, 3. Yeah, you definitely are able to like cobble together a little wind-up toy. It takes you a few minutes, but just like messing with the parts they have, and you're able to like divert a small amount of power. Maybe there was like a battery that you found, like one that they thought had lost all its charge, and you're able to do something to it to kind of like restore a little charge, whether it's like wrapping up some kind of copper coil situation or whatever. And yeah, you make like a little toy. What's it look like?
I'm just thinking of like one of those like they're really popular around the Easter time, where it's like a little chick or a little duckling or something with the big ass feet just kind of flopping around, you know?
Yeah.
Just something kind of simple to make.
Okay.
You just let it walk around the table.
Yeah, so it's like stepping around on the table. And it's made out of different parts. So it's kind of like it's probably kind of strange looking. Maybe like it's not exactly proportional or 1 foot's bigger than the other, but it serves the purpose. And so it's like walking around on the table, like in circles. Puts this thing together. And Ernest goes, "Oh, that's impressive. Maybe she could fix. Maybe she could fix some of our sensors, Naela. It would buy us some time if we needed it."
That would be extremely helpful.
Ernest goes, well, there's been an issue with the clean water supply and the oxygen. It's been tapering off. Do you think you can fix it?
I can try, but I'm not sure how much I can do without any tools.
Yeah, he kind of nods. Well, maybe we can get some tools from a nearby vault or settlement, or the Arku are supposed to be coming by sometime soon to get their payment. Maybe we can trade. Naela, do we have anything to trade? Or I guess he's calling you. He calls you Olivia, just for the just for the record. I keep forgetting to do that, but yeah, he'd be calling you Olivia, Naela.
Is there a way for me to look around for stuff to see if we have anything of value to trade?
You don't. You don't.
Well, we have some. We have some like.
You have a toy now.
fungus shit.
You have
we have
you
that.
have a wind-up toy thing or something. Like you could probably trade that.
I mean, we can trade this little
Yeah.
this thing.
Toy.
Yeah. Ernest goes, well, it was just some broken parts. It's got to be worth more now. Maybe we can get some credits for it. The Arku are going to be expecting food. Just for the record.
They're
Use
probably gonna want
credits.
more than just this. She gestures to the toy.
Let me see here. Come on, Ernest.
I would like to spend an influence point to make him reroll.
Okay. You want to reroll all of them?
Yeah.
All right.
Oops.
I didn't mean to hit that. Yeah, okay, it's worse now.
Reroll again.
You gonna spend an influence point? All right.
Yeah.
We're just gonna keep going until it's all 4s.
We will make this man remember.
That's okay. That's a success.
There we go.
You're welcome.
All right, so he goes, oh, right. we don't have much. We don't have much of the blue left. Right. We can try to scavenge some, but it's been getting more and more scarce. The power supply is getting low.
Well, it sounds like we just need to start doing things now.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing we can really do besides look for stuff, I guess.
Look for stuff, make more toys to sell for credits, use credits to buy more supplies.
Yeah.
Work
Or
on.
drugs.
Ernest is like, oh, you don't
It's
want to.
listed under supplies.
Ernest is like, oh, you don't want to go outside after dark. It's the end of laps, so that's not a good idea.
Okay, well, we could go back out when, the next lap starts. We'll make a plan, course of action, where we're going to go, what we're going to do, what we could encounter, break it all
That's
down.
another problem. We have to figure out how we're going to sleep.
Dibs on the couch.
You'll have to fight me for that one. I take one seat, you take the other.
I'm fine with that.
Okay.
That's not how we sleep here.
How do
We
you sleep then?
sleep in these machines.
What is the purpose of sleeping in the machines?
Well, it's the only way you're going to be able to sleep. Gravity's too strong. Every time you fall asleep, the pressure on your chest makes you stop breathing.
Okay, so we can sleep sitting up.
You can try.
We could certainly try.
Wouldn't be the first time I fell asleep like that.
All right,
you-
so it's plan B.
You see Ernest like walk across the room. He walks past you guys in that sort of like living area. Those of you who are like sitting down on the couch and by the table, and he walks up to this little like circular hatch in the floor. It's got like a little handle on it. And then he grabs the handle and like lifts it up, and there's like a as the hatch opens. And inside you see just like water. And there's probably some like electronical stuff in there too, like mechanical stuff. And he says, we have 2 of these. This is the only way to sleep.
So you sleep underwater to lessen the effects of gravity.
Well, you wear the mask attached to your face so you don't drown.
Yeah, he
Makes
nods.
sense.
I guess, yeah. I could see it.
This is the
So we've got 2 of these?
Ernest nods.
Okay. And
Is
there's...
it possible to make more?
We could make more masks at least. I mean, we just get in there like a can of sardines, but we all need to breathe.
Cassidy, can you make more masks?
I can try.
That's all we can ask. So that would be the short-term solution. Long-term, we need to figure out how to either acquire or make more of those.
Ernest goes, we can always put you back in the lake.
I don't know, man. Them lobsters didn't seem very cooperative.
They seem pretty tasty though.
If it
No,
bleeds
will
black,
kill
it's not good
you.
eating.
I wouldn't eat those things.
Probably make some weapons out of them, though.
Mm-hmm.
There's an idea.
We could definitely do that.
Their collars particularly dangerous.
Okay, so we could make our own version of those from the parts. Maybe have some sort of negative effect on whatever we put the collars on.
Well, it would likely kill them.
Perfect.
See, their collars, they line up with your nervous system and they inject neurotoxin.
Like kind of a bolus kind of thing. You throw one of those at somebody, wraps up on them, dead.
You just have to
that's
make
not
sure
a
not to
bad
grab
idea.
it yourself.
I'll let you try that.
I'll murder the things. That's where we get the parts. We'll figure the rest of that out at some other time. It's just an idea for now.
So, Olivia, what's the plan first? We can sleep in shifts? Or try to get these parts? I don't know how... Well, I mean... What was your name? He looks at Cassidy.
Cassidy.
He nods. Cassidy seems to have a gift with machines, but I don't know how useful they're going to be while the hallucinations are happening. They should.
I could try and help. I don't know a ton about machines, but I know enough about putting things together that maybe it could work.
Out of character, I got a +1 to mechanics.
I have attention to detail.
We could all work together to make something that'll at least keep us alive throughout the night.
Yeah, even if it's just like a makeshift hose that just comes out of the tank, you can leave the top open. You could probably wriggle something together. You're just gonna have to like try to find a hose, like a spare hose somewhere.
Yeah, let's try to find that.
Yeah, I mean the shores are covered with wrecked metal and parts and stuff. This is a dead vault, essentially, right? Like this is where a place where it was flooded and it wiped out, a bunch of people. So a lot of that stuff ended up getting washed ashore, and you guys sort of scavenged through the wrecks to find what you can use. So if you wanted to like go out at night and make a run to try to find some stuff, you can. Just keep in mind that Ernest isn't very useful backing you up because he gets confused so easy. And the other folks are on drugs. They're tripping, and they're going to be until tomorrow. Like they're going to be tripping for about 12 to 14 hours total.
We could always split up.
No.
No.
That is you just pissed her off.
seeing
She's like,
red.
no. Her
Cassidy
face
like, lightly
is-
bonks him on the head.
LOL, JK.
What? Oh.
I was joking.
It was the
Yeah.
drugs talking.
Yeah, drugs.
Number 1. Never split up. Don't go by yourself anywhere.
Even to the bathroom?
Especially to the bathroom. It's Space Australia.
That is true.
Ernest says,
mean-
I'd be willing to give up my DDM for tonight. Someone
No.
No, Ernest. If anyone's gonna give up anything, it's going to be me because I can handle it.
he says, no, really, I'm older. I sleep less anyways.
Ernest. Please.
Please yourself. It's not a problem. I can miss a day's sleep. It won't be the end of the world.
Yes, it will.
Like
This is your home.
he gestures to the rest of you guys, like somebody, one of you guys can take it. Which one of you wants it?
No.
None of
I
you
mean,
are
I'm not
taking
volunteering.
Ernest. One of you can take mine, but no one is taking his.
Honestly, I don't know that any of us should take either of yours. You're kind of the things keeping us alive at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, we
Exactly.
could figure
And-
some way to not die. I mean, one night shouldn't kill us, would it?
No. Like you'll be exhausted tomorrow, right? It'll be kind of like You guys have played D&D, right? Like, what happens when you
Mhm.
miss a night's sleep? You get a point of exhaustion, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And so in this case, it would be like a -1 till physical and mental rolls until you get a sleep.
Right.
Okay, so I mean, we could work with that.
Or we could take shifts, like he was saying.
That too.
So what's it
But
gonna
as
be?
soon as the sun comes up, we need to work on some kind of alternative to that. Because
What sun are
have a
you
sun. I don't have
talking
a sun.
about?
you know what?
Soon as
No,
the
go on,
class
son.
starts again.
Whose son? I don't have any sons.
That's besides the point. It's a metaphor. You know what a metaphor is, right?
No.
As soon
We'll
as the
work on
beginning
that.
of the lapse happens.
I think they mean when the light returns.
Yeah, as soon as it's not dark again.
Well, it's always kind of dark here, but there's a little light that shines through. You saw it when you first broke the surface of the water. Still dark, but slightly brighter. Yeah. So just so you guys know, max quote unquote daylight. It looks something like that image we saw earlier, where it looked kind of like the eclipse, right? Like this is daylight, basically.
Okay.
This is what daylight looks like here. When it's night, what you're looking at here in this image is there's like a light from the core. So power from the core is reaching this light. And at the end of lapse, this large object moves in front of that light. So like a shutter closes on the ceiling and blocks the light. And there's no light. And that's basically nighttime. And then when it's daytime, the shutter moves slightly and some of the light peeks through from the ceilings. Now, there's still like lights on the ceiling, but they're just electronic lights. So they're just like, blinking lights somewhere, probably hundreds of feet above you all in this vault.
Okay.
Regardless, at the start of the next lapse, we're gonna work on fixing our sleeping situation.
Yeah. We could take shifts tonight, and then tomorrow we could look for supplies and things to make, like hoses and whatnot.
Yeah.
So that's the plan then.
Okay. Yeah.
So, how are we organizing the shifts? Because if, usually, I don't know about you guys, but when I take a full sleep, it's at least 5 hours, sometimes 6.
Out of character as former military, I can get by on 3.
Right on. So that's so if you're sleeping in shifts, like if you're gonna not get the penalty, you're gonna have to sleep like however much hours a person typically needs to sleep. Here each lapse is 22 hours. So it's not quite a day, but it's close.
Oh god, permanent jet lag.
How long do we have until the next lapse?
Well, the sun effectively just went down, right? So
Okay.
probably at least 8 to 10 hours. That's
It's a
really
lot of dark.
That's really your. Let's see. If we're looking at like 9 p.m. to like 6 a.m., that's what kind of what I'm trying to figure. That'd be 9 hours, right? You could
Right.
do,
Yeah.
Yeah.
3 hours each.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we've got 2 tubes.
I don't know how useful I'm going to be on a search, so I could skip if that would give you guys some more time.
Well, I mean, with 2 tubes, if we did 3 hours each, we get 9 hours.
Yeah. So if you guys all did 3 hours each, I mean, I like accepting the argument that you can get by on 3 hours because ex-military. No one else is ex-military, right? So I don't like even if that holds true, 3 hours is not gonna be enough for most people.
Yeah. Or we could go out now and try to get as much as we can.
Yeah, you can do that.
But we would run the risk into running into things.
Of course.
Yeah.
But honestly, you're always going to run that risk.
It's just how much more of that risk is at night versus the lighter hours.
Probably a lot worse at night.
If we stay as a group, it shouldn't be too bad. But then again, I have no idea what the fuck this place is. So
the other thing might be a problem is like some of you have detractors for being high. So whether it's mental checks, I think Cassie might be the only one where it's physical checks too because you're so high.
Mm-hmm.
If you have to get into a combat with something, you're going to have those minuses on you. So
Yeah.
that's just something to keep in mind. And just remember how deadly combat is. I went really easy on you guys last session.
I died because of a fingernail.
Yeah. Yeah. So if a creature triples what you roll in combat, you're dead. And if you have a -1 or a -2, you're a lot more likely to get a lower score. So keep in mind.
I'm gonna try to look around the room and see if I see any you could just make.
There's any what?
If there's any tubes or anything that we can makeshift, just I was not picking up.
Yeah. You want to make
or pipe?
Make like a search roll.
Yeah.
If you have anything that would apply to it, you can apply it. Otherwise, if you've got a minus or whatever from the drugs, then make sure you put that on.
I passed the drug check.
Okay.
Well.
Oh, you still rolled a fail.
Yeah, it's fine.
All right. There's no hoses.
Yeah. I'll spin another.
Okay. All right.
I have no idea where the chat went. No. I'll just re-roll the whole thing.
There you go.
Okay. There's success. All right.
I'd say.
You find one thing that you can use as a makeshift hose. So you got one.
So we could sleep 3 people comfortably. Well,
I mean,
comfortably.
Yeah, the pods are big enough for one person. You're going to be squeezing 2 people in one of them.
It would just be uncomfortable.
Yeah. Comfortable is a strong word, but yeah, you could sleep 2 people in one of the pods. Yeah, I'll say that. Yeah. This second hose, it's not going to be hooked up to it, but it's going to be like hanging outside the pod, basically. You're going to be essentially like wearing a snorkel mask, right?
Right.
Okay. So you got a spare hose.
Uh-huh.
So what are you guys doing?
That's a very good question.
Lots of math.
I know, it's quite the conundrum, right?
Oh
If we
my
were to-
god.
Look, y'all just sleep. I won't. We're fine.
So he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people that need to sleep, assuming Derrin doesn't. We have 9 hours. We
Cassidy
got 3 masks.
probably wouldn't sleep either.
I mean, fair.
Cassidy honestly might be too high to sleep.
Hallucinogens keep you awake. Yeah. Typically, they'll keep you awake. So we got 4 people, and we got 3 hoses. If Cassie's not sleeping and Derrin's not sleeping. Ernest has volunteered to give up his spot. So what we can
Nobody
do.
volunteered to let
No.
him.
Nobody volunteered to take it.
I will kick your ass if you volunteer.
Okay, well that means somebody else has to volunteer because we've got 4 people and 3 hoses.
Well, but we could have 5 hours for one person and 4 hours for the rest. Would that be enough?
I could get by on 4.
Uh,
And plus, since these pods are like, well, they're big enough to fit one of us. You know, him and Cassidy are smaller.
well, him and Naela. They're about a
Yeah, that's
foot.
right.
They're about a foot shorter than what they should be. Like they're
Okay,
not.
so they're just like a foot shorter.
Yeah.
That's not going to
But
make
they're-
that much of a difference.
Yeah, they're like wider and stockier too. Like they have a lot of muscle on them. Both, even the old man does. But yeah, kind of like a dwarf, where they're
So we
like
can't
wide.
fit 2 people into one of these.
I mean, you
No, we
could.
can't.
You could.
Yeah,
I
he's
said
saying
you
we
could.
can.
It's just
They
not.
just
It's just
can't.
not going to be comfortable. Like you're going to be pushed up
Yeah.
against each other a little bit, and you're not going to be able to like stretch out. It's not going to be comfortable, but you could do it.
I wouldn't be adverse to that.
Yeah.
You don't have to be comfortable to actually sleep.
That's right.
You just have to be tired enough.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
Mhm.
who? Okay, is that what we're doing? We're going to let somebody get 4 hours and one person get 5.
I'll take the 4 hours.
I'll
Alright.
take the 5.
All right. Okay. Do you have a memory that lets you like get less sleep or something? Think you might need to make one.
Tie it into physical activities.
I'll let it apply. I'll let it apply. I'll go easy. Sure. So, Naela, Zack, Dank, and Ernest are gonna sleep. Cassie and Derrin, you're gonna have a -1 on physical and mental checks until you get some rest.
Okay.
Brilliant.
I'm gonna tell you guys, there's no possibility of being able to sleep outside the pods here. There's not even a roll for it.
Okay.
And really, I should be like making. I should be making like people who are getting less than 6 hours or so roll. But I'm not. I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna say yes. You get your sleep. All right. So you guys are all gonna turn in, and the plan is to get up tomorrow and go searching for stuff like scavenging.
Yes,
Yeah, pretty much.
pretty
Okay.
much.
All right.
Even though Darren's not going to sleep, he is gonna try the breathing thing.
Okay. Okay. You can definitely do that. Make a roll. If you have anything that applies to like physical or
Attention to detail?
I suppose you paid really good attention to her instructions and you're able to follow them really well. Well, sure, I'll let it apply.
Okay. Success.
Okay. So I want you to mark one success, like write it down in your notes somewhere. One
Okay.
success on breathing. One consecutive success on breathing. And I'll take away the physical penalty. So you'll still get a -1 to mental. But I'll take away the penalty to physical.
Okay.
For you. Let me just make a note. Okay.
Cassidy is going to spend all night making a little army of toys.
Okay, sure. Let's see here. Okay. All right. So you guys are gonna take a sleep and get your Z's in. Let me make a note that I just want to make sure I'm keeping track that Cassie and Derrin not sleeping. And here's the thing. We usually try to keep this under 3 hours. We're 10 minutes out from 11.
Mhm.
So what do you guys want to do? We can end the session here and pick up next week with like you guys getting up and going out to scavenge some stuff. See if we can get you guys some parts and then figure out how to use those parts. What do you guys want to do?
Yeah, I feel like this is a good stopping point for this session.
Yeah.
All right. Well, in that case, if you want to check out the page for the person that has done the artwork for Cassie here, Cassidy Williams, that is TikTok, and it's at iotakuhime. Check them out if you like the artwork. It's good stuff. It's really good stuff. I really dig it. Also, the company that made this game, Nibiru, the tabletop RPG company, is called Araukana Media. Check out their website, araukanamedia.com, I think it is. And if you want to buy the game for yourself. But next week, a week from today, we're going to be doing the first giveaway of 3. So we'll be giving away a copy of the game. Just make sure you're here live next week so you can enter that giveaway. And we'll also give away on episode 5 and episode 6. If you don't win next week, you can definitely enter again to win it on 5 or 6. And you can enter as many times. You just can't win it more than once. I feel like I'm forgetting. TeamZack has a Twitch channel, twitch.tv/TeamZack, who plays Zack here. You want to go ahead and check him out. And there's there's a thing we need to shout out for Dank. Was it a fundraiser?
Yeah, pretty much. It's like a GoFundMe. Just send me energy drinks so I can continue to function as a normal human being.
There you go. So you want to? What's the address?
I think I sent it to you. Let me check.
I've got it in the description thing saved. I can check and pull it up here.
Yeah, I'm gonna toss it into the Twitch chat. Wow.
Okay. It just censored you.
Oh, bummer.
Is it because it's a link? Hang on. Let me see if I can give you permission. Maybe not. Can you just message it to me and not link it? I can't figure out.
Yeah, I'll send it back to you here.
I can't. It flagged you as a suspicious user for some reason. It's probably the name. It doesn't like the name Dick Fingers, probably.
I'm not surprised.
If you want to send it to me in Discord, I'll link it.
Yeah, I said it.
I mean, no, Twitch is good.
Yeah, no, Twitch is the best streaming platform ever. Like,
hands down, the best.
No cap. Like,
there's that GoFundMe. All right. So if you want to send him an energy drink so he can keep functioning as a normal part of society, definitely do that. And because Dank's good people. And we want him alive. We want him alive and well rested so he can keep the rest of these guys alive. Because Dank is going to be the one that I can't kill. I know that.
That's kind of the reason I volunteered to not sleep.
All right, cool.
Has to sleep.
So good session today, guys. You sort of learn a little bit more about the world. You definitely have figured out that it's not all the same as where you came from. There's no skies here.
Toto, I don't think we're in Kansas anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, we'll see next time if you guys can scavenge some stuff up, fix some stuff, maybe get some stuff to trade, if you're gonna encounter anything. And am I missing anything? Any announcements or anybody else got any shout outs or anything they want to do?
Space Australia.
Space Australia. That's the name.
Space Australia.
Space Dingo, wait, my space baby.
That's the name of this episode, I think. We're just gonna call it Space Australia.
Should just change the whole name of the campaign.
Space Australia.
Yeah.
Broken
All right.
Space Australia.
Well, thanks for playing, guys, and thanks for watching. Seems like we had quite a few people in here tonight, so thanks for watching, folks. And also like the gifted subs and the follows. It's really cool to see. Thanks, everybody. And we'll be back same time next week. Hopefully, we'll be on time next week. We won't have any tech issues. we'll get started
I'm
on time.
sorry.
It wasn't just you. It was me too.
Like me too.
Yeah, yeah. It was.
I was trying to find my dress.
Yeah, yeah. Zack had wear a dress. Are you gonna wear a different
looks
dress
wonderful.
for them next week, Zach? Or?
Oh yeah. Oh
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Just gonna get more extravagant every single time.
All right, cool. We'll put you in a hot tub
I
or
love
something.
Eventually, you'll be wearing the Kill a Kill dress.
Exactly.
All right. Well, thanks, guys. You'll have a great week, and yeah, we'll see you next time. Take care.
Goodbye.
Bye.